This video is brought to you by Atomic Wheels, your go-to source for premium fully forged rims for your electric vehicle. Enhance the style and range of your Tesla or Rivian today. Go to atomicwheels.com and use code TFLEV for 10% off your order.
Hey guys, welcome to Madrid, Spain, and I'm here not to look at these lovely flowers, but Polestar flew me out here to look at these two cars. That is the new Polestar 3, and that is the new Polestar 4. In this video, I'm going to do a quick comparison, a hands-on comparison between the two cars, so you can tell which one is right for you if you're thinking about buying one. So let's start with the Polestar 3, because, well, it's one number less than the Polestar 4. Now, as you know, Polestar is a partnership between Geely and Volvo. It's a company that is based in Sweden, and they have a simple philosophy. It's based on kind of Swedish minimalism. So you will see a lot of Volvo-esque touches in both of these cars. But mainly, the difference between, of course, Volvo and Polestar is, in my mind at least, that the Polestar is the more sportier, the more youthful, the more techy version of Volvo. Now, if you're wondering what the difference is between the 3 and the 4 is actually a little bit smaller, a little bit less expensive, and the 3 is a little bit bigger, a little bit more expensive. Basically, the 4 starts at about $50,000, and if you get the dual motor with all the bells and whistles, it goes up to about 70, and that's where this one starts at about 70 and goes up from there. Both of these cars are brand new. They're 2025 models, and let's just talk about the differences. First and foremost is battery size. So if you can tell, the Polestar 4 has a 100 kilowatt hour battery. That's good for around 300 miles of range in this all-wheel drive dual motor configuration. A little bit less, but perhaps the biggest difference between the two is back here. This is, of course, more of a coupe-ified SUV, and what makes it really unique is right here. Yep, there is no rear glass in this car. In fact, the only way you see out the back of it is through a camera-mounted display that's fed through this camera on the back of the car. So I would call both of these cars very Tesla-esque. Maybe if you were using Tesla to compare them, and Polestar would not agree with that because they think they're a much more luxurious brand. This would be kind of the equivalent of the Model Y, and that would kind of be the Model X, give or take. Now, that's just a really shorthand version of looking at it, but if you look at the door handles, of course, they recess when the car is started. These are things that Tesla has pioneered and made popular. Now, over here on the Polestar 3, you'll see that it's more of a traditional SUV, so a much more traditional back end. Still very coupe-ified, but in fact, there is glass back here, so you can see out the back without having to actually look at a display using a camera. Now, Polestar is the Swedish word for North Star, and so that's why the logo is very star-like. Now, both of these cars are the all-wheel drive version. The dual motor in the 4, 0 to 60 happens in about 3.8 seconds. In the 3, it's a little bit slower, but nevertheless, they are very quick. And they are both riding, I believe, on 22-inch wheels, which is, a big wheel and tire combination for an efficient car. And so, of course, the all-wheel drive models are more performance-oriented and get under 300 miles of range. If you get the rear-wheel drive single motor, then they're over 300 miles. Now, one of the other unique things about the Polestar 3 is that, sort of like the new and upcoming Charger, you've got this front spoiler right there. Stick my hand through it. That helps with aerodynamics, which is actually pretty darn cool. And then if you're a big fan of Volvo, you know that, well, the headlights are actually down here, but this driving light would be the hammer of Thor. In Polestar, they're called light blades. And I think that's also a very handsome feature. Now, let's start with the front, as we always do on both of them, and look at the front. We'll start with the Polestar 4. So I'll pop it open for you guys, and you'll see that there is a frunk, but it's actually very minimal. So a lot of electric cars are doing away with frunks. This one has one, but you know, you could probably get a lunchbox in there or a charger, and that's about it. But it is nice that you still have access to the, as the British say, bonnet, whereas some of the Germans now don't allow that anymore. And I'll show you the size difference, because obviously the Polestar 3 is a much, well, not much, but a larger car. More of the family hauler versus the small family hauler. So we'll pop this open. I believe it's over here actually, because you can't get your hand under there. And you'll see that this one does have a much larger front. You know, that might be big enough for like a gym bag to keep your smelly gym clothes out of the cabin. And you know what? At the end of this video, I'll tell you which car I like better. But I think they're both handsome. You know, they're both very muscular and very, in a lot of ways, Swedish. But like I said, in a more athletic sort of, you know, athletic wear fashion. So let's start with the 3, and let's look at inside. One unusual thing about these two vehicles is that, you know, as you know, most rearview mirrors adjust the glass. Here, when you're adjusting it, you adjust the entire window, not the glass, but you adjust the entire rearview mirror. And you know what? I had a conversation with the guy who was in charge of the UX, in other words, the infotainment in these cars. And so let's cut to that right now, and you can kind of see how everything in these cars works. And ironically, this car has a vertical screen and that one has a horizontal. But we sat in the Polestar 4, so let's get to that video and I can show you how all this works, because it has been redesigned. Let's start with the themes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we in Polestar 4 we have our ambient light app. We wanted to create something different, not just having colors that you can choose. And we created this app where you have the solar system with all the planets and the sun, and we can choose, instead of choosing a color, you choose a planet, and the whole interior changes to the color that is related to that planet. And we are also giving, you can see here, some information about that planet. They are spinning in a different speed related to the speed of the Earth. And I think you have seen there our O2 show car that every now and then is flying through.
Yeah, I saw a little like Polestar.
Yeah, it will come again.
Fly through there. I like this because obviously a lot of manufacturers are now using digital lighting to create themes in the car. But this is nice because the different planets, of course, have different colors. And this is a very simple way to illustrate how you want the interior to look. You want, you know, Earth-like or blue. Mm-hmm. I take it that is that Saturn?
That is Mars.
Oh, that's Mars. Okay, well, I am not good at planets. And so then it becomes nice and red in here. And the colors do match very well. It's not just red. It's kind of almost like an orangey red, just like the planet.
Yeah, we have collaborated a lot with our CMF team at Polestar Design. And, you know, the idea was to really find special colors, not just the common colors. And another good thing is that it's not just colors on the doors. For example, if you go to the back, the rear passengers, they have, since we don't have rear view, rear window, we have ambient light behind you.
Oh, okay.
So it creates like a business class
I see.
Seat.
And then of course you've got, you know, here as well, here as well. Yeah. And then I like, you can see it better on that side, but I like how the light is perforated right there through the door. Yeah, that's very nice. Let me try some other colors. I'm curious. So you got a swipe. I'm waiting for the Polestar.
Now it's changing. You can do that, or you can select. Also there.
Waiting for the little car to fly by. We missed it.
Yeah, maybe if we go back.
We could go back. It'll go through there again. And then of course this is your brightness, right? So you can adjust how bright you want it. Yeah, it's very intuitive. Very hard to do something that's intuitive like that. Oh, here he comes.
There it is.
Yeah, there's a little space car.
Usually it's around 15 seconds. It should be showing up.
Okay. All right. So talk to me about the rest of it. Let's go back home, right?
Yeah. Then, well, in the home screen now we have Google Maps as always in our products, but we have 4 widgets that you can resize. So we can have 2, 4, or we can have full map. Google Maps.
I like this. I like the screen. It's very high definition.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then another highlight is that we can have, sorry about that. We can have also two apps at the same time. You can see that now, this is not a widget, this is the full app Spotify at the same time of Google Maps. And we're doing that because we want to avoid driver distraction. We want our customers to be in one place and avoid them jumping from one app to another. So it's good for them to have things at the same time.
Obviously, dual climate zones. And then if you want to adjust the climate, all you do is tap on the little fan here. And then it brings up your climate settings. And then very Tesla-like. I mean, Tesla did bring this out for the first time, right? You can adjust where you want the air to blow.
You can do that, but also if we go here, for example, instead of finding the position of the air, you can also choose different modes.
Oh, that's nice.
And if you here, for example, I'm choosing that I want the air going to my face, but I mean, avoiding my face. Or, no, now it's going directly to my face.
Gotcha.
Or this mode is fun mode, Now the air vents are doing that.
Oh, that's really cool. Let's turn this back down so we don't get too loud in here. All right, and then you've got air quality as well. So what does this do? Tell me about this.
Well, it's usually in some cities that there is contamination. It's good to know if the air is good inside the cabin. So if it's not, this would be in red, and then you can quick clean the cabin. Now in the demo mode is not working, but you would clean the cabin.
Is there a HEPA filter that this goes through, or is that how that works?
I don't know technically, but you will activate the recirculation and will.
You're the UX guy.
I'm not the function owner of that, but we know.
All right, let's go back home. Let's see what the functionality there is. Now, okay, so that's Spotify, and then you got shortcuts.
Yeah, for example,
tell me about that. Yeah.
This one is all shortcuts you can go here in the landing page of car settings. You have all the shortcuts, but we have a little widget where you can customize what shortcuts you want. For example, right now we have driver adjustments. This is coming by default. But also we have glove box, we have open the trunk. But if we long press, we can select many different things.
Gotcha.
For example, lane keeping aid. I mean, there are many that we can choose. Open one pedal drive. So whatever you want to have, like in a really quick access.
Is this your battery?
This is to open the charge port.
Oh, okay. Oh, I should close it. Come on, close.
Yeah.
There he goes. Oh, I see. I thought that was your battery status. What other shortcuts are there? Let me go back to this one. Is it this one that oh, there you go.
Yeah, we can. You want to go to the all of them?
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
You just long press on the icon and then you can.
Gotcha. Long press makes sense. One pedal driving, performance mode, so you could switch out how the car drives.
Correct.
Yeah. And then what I like is you've got a heads-up display and you have a small display there. So you've got actually 1, 2, 3 ways of giving information.
And also another display in the
rear.
For
That's
the rear
nice.
Passengers.
Yeah. All right, let's go back home again. Oh, we are home.
Yeah, we are in home.
Okay. And then what does this one do? That's for your phone, right?
Yeah, that's phone. We haven't paired a phone. So another relevant thing that I would like to maybe show is car settings.
Okay.
We wanted at Polestar to avoid long lists, because now in the car industry there are many functions that we have to deal with as a customer, and so we wanted to make it easier for our customers, and we created our cards that you can see that they are huge buttons, and when you're driving it's really easy to find what you're looking for and also activate or deactivate.
And then so orange means it's activated.
Correct.
And gray means it isn't. Gotcha.
Correct.
So you've got creep, which is basically one pedal driving, hill descent, stability control, off or on, range performance. So do you want to go far or do you want to go fast?
Correct. That's right.
Steering feel, so that changes how heavy the steering is. And this adjusts your suspension, which is nice because I know on some of the Volvo products you have to go out there and actually physically. Here you just do it inside the cabin, and then of course one pedal driving.
But also we have here assist, pilot assist, road sign information, speed limit warning. That, for example, you can. That is important for Europe.
Yes.
But you can also have it as a shortcut if you need to have a quick access to that.
I think there's legislation that you have to have that in Europe, right?
Yeah,
so when you exceed the speed limit, it lets you know.
Every drive cycle, you need to have the sound, and if you want as a user to deactivate it, you have to come here or in the shortcut to deactivate.
Yeah. What a huge pain in the butt. You Europeans, you guys.
It really is. It's a legal requirement to have to meet him.
I know the EU's gotten a little out of control there. What else do we have here? What other features?
Well, charge any information that you need. But when you are charging the car, this is by default you have this screen on the
and here you can set how many amps, obviously, and then audio.
You can always open the charge port from there. And we have the audio. You can define if you want the audio in the front, in the rear, in the whole car. Then in the exterior, different settings for lights, locking. I mean, there is plenty of things. Locking, all the type of locking you want. Mirrors, if you want the mirrors to.
And let me show the mirrors because they are unique. Because most cars, when you adjust the mirror, you adjust the reflective part, but here you adjust the entire mirror. Yeah, let's move it around to show people. So instead of adjusting just the glass part that's inside the mirror cap, you're actually adjusting the whole thing.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's show them. And then you would do that on the steering wheel, right?
Yeah. Adjustments. Which one do you want?
We do this one. Do the
mirror?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now you will see.
Let me show you. So you do there, and then so it adjusts the whole mirror. It's interesting. I've never seen them before. It's very different. It might be more aerodynamic.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. But obviously a lot of stuff in these cars is done for aerodynamics.
Here you can see we are just choosing what we want to adjust, and then by using the steering wheel, we are adjusting that.
So I have to say it is very Tesla-like, I mean, if you're used to Tesla, then this will seem very natural.
Well, we think that it's good to do it like this because our approach is we have profiles, and you should do this only once. When you get the car, you create your profile, you adjust your adjustments, and then you don't have to adjust it anymore because you go here and you can choose your profile.
Oh, I see.
In theory, you will have different profiles. Will be yours, your partner, a friend, your kids, doesn't matter. And each one has a profile, then you choose your profile and everything gets adjusted to your...
So that would include steering wheel, mirror, temperature settings as well? Is that all that included in the profile?
Everything that is not based on a drive cycle, like for example, speed limit warning, you have to adjust it every time that you get into the car. But all the rest, home screen, if you have this configuration of home screen, you will keep that. You will keep your radio stations, anything that is related to your configuration will be.
So if you lend your car to a friend or your partner borrows it, then they just push their profile and then the car conforms to their needs.
So you can see that we have a profile that is called guest.
Yep.
If you are giving the car or leaving the car to a friend, you can activate that profile. They can change whatever they want, and then you go back to your profile.
And then let's finally look at the cameras. So, there you go. Here are the cameras.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of different camera profiles. You've got the bird's eye view up here. And then, of course, this is a front view. Can you change that to the rear view as well?
Yeah, in theory, but I don't know if it's working.
These are prototype cars. There we go.
This is the 360.
Yeah, so you spin it around.
And 30. There you go. This is front.
Oh my God.
Now it's point of view.
Wow, that's crazy. How many cameras does this car have?
That data I should check.
Well, according to this, it was like at least 10, right? Or those may just be different angles using the same camera.
No, it's probably a combination of cameras. It's not just one camera.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it giving me this quick tour of the new Polestar 4. And it's the same in the Polestar 3 that's over there too, right?
There are a few differences, but basically it's the same.
Basically it's the same. Okay, we're back in the Polestar 3. One of the things that is not Tesla-like, which I like a lot about this car, is that not only do you have this main screen with all the widgets that you just saw, but you also have a screen in front of the driver, very bright, very easily read. Orange seems to be their color of choice. And then, of course, a heads-up display, which isn't on right now because the car's not on. But not only does that give you, easily read and definable speed limits and battery charge, but you don't have to keep looking at the screen and taking your eyes off the road. And I like that a lot. Now, both cars have giant panoramic sunroofs. I don't know if you can see it in here, but there's a little Polestar right there to let you know what brand you're in. I think that's a very nice touch. What isn't a nice touch is that you can't open up, at least in the Polestar 4, the glove box without going into the infotainment screen. But in the Polestar 3, you do have real vent controls, which I'm a big fan of. Call me old. The seats are Swedish comfortable and stylish, which I like. And then, of course, ambient lighting and use of materials is recycled. And then these very prominent orange seat belts. Just all in all, a very nice place to spend time. Certainly nice steering wheels, which Tesla seems to have moved away from in the Cybertruck that we just bought. An easily adjustable volume knob right there. I love that. Phone charger and a little cubby in here to store your drinks. Everything you'd kind of expect, and they kept the traditional stocks. Thank you, Polestar, for not going all the way. And this, of course, has a better radio, which is the Bowers & Wilkins. And as a big guy, I feel very comfortable in here. I've always thought that the Swedish do the best seats in the world, and the Polestar is no exception to that fact. And then because you obviously don't have a transmission tunnel, you've got a nice little area here to hold your stuff. And I think there's a little cubby here too, where you could put things into, or at least hold things with. So let's jump in the back. And they haven't reinvented a door handle, which is also nice, because I'm really getting tired of having to figure out just how to get in and out of a car. I'm talking to you, Lexus. Now, like I said, if you're wondering what this competes with, specifically the Polestar 4, Polestar would say the Macan, but that's a much less expensive car than a Macan. Several Genesis SUVs. I always think all these new modern electric cars in some way or another end up competing with Tesla. It's just the way it is. Back here, you've got these cute little pillows. If you remember the Pacifica review I did, that's very reminiscent of that. And I don't know what this does. It's kind of cool. Oh, that's just a little hook. Cool. There's a little hook. And of course, once again, nice ambient lighting. Plenty of headroom for me right here. And as you can tell, plenty of legroom. Separate screen back here. And of course, an armrest. Plenty of light, even though I'm kind of in this very dark little patio area. And let's look in the back just to see how much room there is for all your stuff. And the answer is quite a bit, actually. Now, if you want to know exact numbers, I'm here in Madrid with my man Alex from Alex on Autos, and he is much better at giving you exact cubic inches of space. I just kind of like to show you that is a big cubby hole and a ski pass through it, of course, a way to hide your private stuff if you happen to live in San Francisco, where they seem to like stealing stuff out of back parts of cars. So there you have the Polestar 3, a very handsome family hauler. Now let's go into the Polestar 4. And by the way, both of these cars at some point will be, I believe, equipped with Volvo's LiDAR system, which kind of lives on the roof there. And they're set up for basically almost autonomous driving. They do come with lane centering, adaptive cruise control, the usual things. But the cars are ready for more autonomous driving that will be updated over the air. So here's the Polestar 4, 100 kilowatt hour battery. Polestar says it charges from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes. I believe a maximum of 200 kilowatt charging speeds. And like I said, the funky thing about this car is this, no rear view glass. And it's not actually bad when you see it from behind. It's certainly very distinctive. I mean, you'll know you're in a Polestar, at least a Polestar 4, when you see that. So this one is a little bit smaller, like I said, a little bit cheaper. Actually quite a bit cheaper, like $20,000 cheaper. And a little bit more sporty, just because of its size and because of its character. Now there's your rearview mirror. You can switch it to a regular mirror if you want to check on the kiddos in the back, or you can keep it in camera mode. Same thing, very modern, very comfortable seats. Use of recycled materials in the seats. And then, like we showed you in the video, I like this little perforated design that shows the different colors. Just a very nice place to be. I could see myself, spending hours driving this across country, or if you're in Sweden, across Sweden. And then this has a much larger cubby under the center console. And unfortunately, I don't like this very much, where you hide your phone if you want to charge it, and then no physical controls. This is what I mean by Teslafied for the vents, as you saw in the little video with the guy who actually designed all of this. I do love the fact that the screen is sharp and bright, and that you do have a lot of relatively easy and conformable information that you can use on the steering wheel. Having said that, these are these touch controls, haptic controls. I think a lot of people are going to miss buttons. I just kind of, maybe I'm just getting old and stayed in my ways, but I just do miss buttons, and I could see a lot of people feeling the same way I do. But this is the world we live in, so this is the world that we get. Let's look at the back seat and see how much room there is. Once again, 6'2", so I am relatively tall, and yet sitting behind myself, I have plenty of room, and actually plenty of headroom, because the reason that the reason that Polestar says it got rid of the rear window was because they wanted to move, I'll show you on the outside, the C pillar goes A, B, C, farther back to give you more headroom, and yet keep that coupified shape of the car. Now, we do have a nice little screen back here, which lets you control your HVAC, 2 USB-C ports there. And something really unusual here, let me show you. These are little buttons, let me show you, that let you recline the back seat. Okay, we push it back. So you do get a little bit more room, or a little bit more back seat comfort if you do recline those. Let me see if I put them all the way up. If I hit my head, will it hit my head? Will it hit my hair? No, yeah, that's not bad. And I've got a pretty long torso. Another interesting thing is like the little writing that you'll find scattered throughout the car: tailored, knitted, made from zero waste, 100% PET. Look at that. You can wear your green credentials on your sleeve. You do have vents back here and down there, which is nice. And look at all the room I have. Not bad. Okay, let's hop out of the car and show you what I mean about that coupified look. So according to Polestar, the reason they got rid of the rear window was to move this C-pillar back farther, still keeping the coupified look and giving the passengers more headroom. I'll let you decide whether that is something that is good, bad, or whether you're indifferent to it. Let me see if I can find the... Oh, it's there. People keep changing where they put their little buttons open the back hatch. Looks like an 80-20 split. And let's see what's hiding underneath here. Just a little bit of a cubby and a charging cable. And, you know, probably enough room for a very large European family or a very small American family if you're used to your Suburbans and such. So there you have it, a quick walk around and a quick display of the difference between the new Polestar 3 and the Polestar 4. If it were my money, which of these two would I get? I'm probably leaning just toward the 3, which actually I think comes out first, because that comes out later this year, probably the summer, and this won't come out till the fall. I do believe they're both on sale, so you can go to the website. And like I said, for me, Polestar 3, just because I'm a big guy and I like bigger cars, and I kind of feel like the lack of a rear window is just more gimmick than function. But maybe I'm wrong, because obviously I do fit in the back seat. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, this is Roman saying, see you guys next time. Ciao.